Hello, my name is Samantha Palma, and this is my presentation on the search engine, and my theme is identity. As a poor kid and a middle-class Indian, she seemed destined for a minimum wage life of waiting tables or changing oils, but she wanted a maximum life. This quote relates to the identity by highlighting the struggles of finding one's place in society and can be related to many different people, not just a particular group. But in this case, she is emphasizing how she is destined for something she does not want and is fighting for what she wants. This quote describes a young woman who is from a disadvantaged background and is expected to live a life of limited opportunities. However, she wants more than that and desires to live a full and fulfilling life despite the barriers in her way. She has been a resourceful thief, a narcissistic Robin Hood who stole a rich education from white people and kept it. The search engine by Sherman Alexie relates to identities in several ways. The quote is referring to Corliss to be a thief of a rich education, indicating that she is not deserving as much as her white counterparts. Firstly, by stating that the reader can infer that she is cunning and determined enough to put in the hard work that goes with the education. This resourcefulness may be seen as part of her identity, highlighting her strength and resilience. Secondly, the reference to narcissistic Robin Hood suggests that she gives what she has to others. In this case, she is simply redistributing education to those who have been marginalized. Lastly, the phrase that she kept it implies that she values the empowerment that comes with knowledge. By keeping the education she has stolen, she is asserting her right to education and her ability to shape her own identity through learning. Overall, this quote highlights the importance of education as a means of shaping identity and asserting agency. It suggests that education can be a powerful tool for individuals to assert their own identities and challenge the structures of power that seek to marginalize them. The world is a competitive place, and a poor Indian girl needs all the advantages she can get. First, the quote highlights the challenges that individuals from marginalized communities face when trying to succeed in a competitive world. In this context, being a poor Indian girl means that one has to work harder and smarter than others to achieve success. Second, the quote suggests that getting an education is one way for a poor Indian girl to level the playing field and gain an advantage in a competitive world. Lastly, the quote implies that being a poor Indian girl is a fundamental aspect of one's identity, in this case, Corliss, and that one must navigate the world with this identity in mind. This means that she cannot want more than she is expected to have because of this identity instilled in her. And this is a picture of a girl. She is very young, as you can see, and she is just living. She loved her fathers and uncles, but she hated their individual fear and collective lack of ambition. Sherman Alexie's The Search Engine relates to identity by highlighting the tension between individual and collective identity, as well as the role of ambition in shaping identity. This quote acknowledges that character has positive feelings towards her family members, indicating that familial ties can be an important part to one's identity, but her family's image of themselves is limiting in the men's side of the family. She loved her family. She knew her family feared poetry, so maybe she loved poetry precisely because so many people hated it. This particular quote highlights the idea that one's identity can be shaped in opposition to the beliefs and expectations of others. This quote suggests that the character's love of poetry is a core part of her identity. She was contradictory and young and confused and smart, uninformed, and ambitious. This quote describes a young woman who is still in the process of developing her identity. She is contradictory, which suggests that her beliefs and values may be in tension with each other. She is young and uninformed, indicating that she is still in the process of discovering who she is and what she wants in life, but she is also smart and ambitious in her drive and potential, and what that will help in building something for her. Her family loved and supported her, so how could she resent them for being clueless about her real dreams and ambitions? This quote highlights a common conflict that individuals face when trying to reconcile their innate desires and dreams with the expectations of their loved ones. She was too poor to afford her own computer and was ashamed of her poverty. She wants to grow and learn but is unable to afford her own computer. She is ashamed of her poverty and feels like she cannot measure up to her peers. Who am I and who am I supposed to be? This quote speaks on the inner conflict that every person faces as they struggle to discover their identity, in this case, Corliss. As she navigates her way through life, she is confronted with the difficult task of finding out who she really is and who she is meant to be. She questions her place in the world, her purpose, and her values. While these questions can often be challenged and uncomfortable, they are also important for her to answer in order to fully develop her sense of self. We are people exiled by the exiled. This suggests that young Indians are marginalized or excluded from their own land, and it implies a sense of double marginalization. Overall, this short story has a variety of quotes in which identity was explored as a young person and a young female. In conclusion, we can all learning from various perspectives if we keep an open mind. And this is my works cited page. Thank you, and have a nice day.